Okay. Let's get started. All right. What are we looking at? What are we working on today? We are working on EmberCare. That's my medication app. That has been quite a while since we worked on it, so I'm gonna have to remember what we're doing. And I'm still learning Flutter and Dart and mobile apps. This app is going to be first thing I'm trying to build is a MacBook because I'm building this app for me and then hopefully trying to sell it. But at any rate, it's going to be for me first, and then hopefully I can sell it to people like me who are going to use it. But we'll see. I do need to learn Flutter anyways. But let's check my. Usually, Accretion is around to tell me my mic sucks. Maybe he'll be here today. Don't warn me about that. All right, so we're gonna work on first thing we're gonna work on is oop. We're not gonna take a call because we are doing something. We are going to work on close this. Be right back, apparently. Always something. Always something. All right, so we're back. So let's go. Why do I not have. Why does that show. That's weird. More technical difficulties? Man, I suck at this. I'm really bad at it. All right. I'm so horrible at this. All right, so let's do this live here. I'm gonna try and fix my screen because it's not. All right, so we will see if that catches us up. But for whatever reason, doing it live. Doing it live. Doing it live. Because doing it live, it's all messed up. So you want max. All right, there we go. Show cursor. Okay. Yeah. Pro streamer. Pro streamer. You know what? We can take this completely off because not that one. Dumb shit. All right, almost there. I promise. I promise. Hope you guys are all having fun laughing at me. This was all working earlier. Thank you, OBS. Thank you, OBS, for being awesome. All right, so that should. All right, so that should work, I think. I think that's working. What a joke. All right, let me make sure that everybody can see what's happening. And we're gonna go. All right, now we got GitHub here. I'm gonna open up all my crap again. All right, we got that going. And I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go Discord and open this up. All right. What? All right, now what did I miss in chat? Lynx Gamer, thank you for showing up. Mm, I don't know how to just tell it like click here, fit the screen. I don't know how to do that. But I think we're okay. I mean, I can turn the audio up again, but let me see. I should be up pretty. I mean, it's hitting up at my red bar. I think you need to turn your volume up, like always. But I'll turn it up more, I guess. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. Now that I started that nonsense and messed up my, I've reset everything. But hey, shit happens, right? All right. So what are we doing today? We're doing. Before I got all confused, I've been working on EmberCare as an app in like weeks now. Actually, I did some small stuff, fix some bugs, and just how it's getting built, but it's not like I haven't done anything, right? And I'm still learning um, Flutter and Dart, so it's all right. You're gonna have to show me that accretion. You're gonna have to show me that later. Um, right. So I'm still learning Dart, still learning Flutter. Um, Still learning how to work with Mac apps, which I've done a couple, but it's still pretty interesting. But what we're working on today is let me show the milestones. Working on the command center workflows, and you'll kind of get the idea of what we're doing as we go. Um, but again, what this app is for is just in case nobody knows what it is. Um, it's for people like me who are older people, adults with their own kids, but we're also taking care of our parents because they're elderly and we can't send them to old folks home. We don't want to either. We can't afford it, or my case, we can't afford it, and also because we just don't want to. There's no good ones. that I know of, at least not around here. So the big challenge with him is that it's my father-in-law. He's got 4 or 5 specialty doctors. He's 82 years old. He's running like a champ, but he's got good insurance. He's got 4 or 5 specialty doctors. He takes 25 plus medications every month, and the dosage changes as he goes. He's diabetic. He's got some others, congestive heart failure. So that stuff all has got to be kind of sliding. And then he's also got where he's got his civilian doctors, and then he's got his VA doctors. So in order to save money, his civilian doctors are the prescribers, but through the VA, he's got one primary care. So what happens because I don't want to pay for all the medications are like $1,600 a month. So I can't afford that. So what happens is he's got the civilian doctors. They prescribe 80% of his medications and send it to the primary care at the VA, and then the primary care at the VA is actually the one that sends them to the pharmacy. It's the VA pharmacy. And then, the other 10, 20 percent we just pick up at our local pharmacy because they're not that expensive. And those are the ones that change the most often. But the VA pharmacy, the way the VA system works here in most places, just as a general rule, the US VA system, um, they'll sign you up for a 90-day supply. And, so every 9 days you get new medication. But that's how it works in theory, but that's not how it works in practice. Like they send it to you when they got it. So they're constantly shuffling their inventory. So you think about 5 boxes of how we handle his medication. He's got the medication that's in his pill box that he takes every day. He's got medication in a working box that is the stuff that we've already opened the bottle he can start taking. Then there's medication that just showed up yesterday. That's a working box, big shoe box. And then before that is the medication that needs ordered or already has been ordered but hasn't shown up yet. Those 2 boxes right there. And we fill his pillbox monthly because I try not to change him. Like this week you're taking one thing, next week you're taking another thing. I try not to do that. It's not healthy. So, uh, kind of a pain, but it's what's got to be done, right? But trying to keep track of that. Plus, there's 9 people in the house. My VA medication, my civilian medication. My wife's got some health issues. I got a kid that's got stuff going on. Another kid that's got stuff going on. So trying to keep all that stuff in track and healthy and not over medicating anybody or in the case of my father-in-law, some of that medication could be deadly. So I'm trying to build an application that will help me sort that. The problem with the market is that most medication apps it's just an alert that says, hey, it's time to take your medication. Or it's like a little checkbox or it beeps on your phone or something. It's not very sophisticated. Anything better than that, and you're in like enterprise land. So I don't want to do that. Um, But anyways, that's the app. So what we're trying to build today on this app is actually the we can go to which number is it? Yeah, it's right here. All right, so the dashboard. This is going to be like the home uh, medication counts by pipeline, quick action buttons for common tests. Let's see I should be able to open the app on my desktop or my phone and know what's going on. That's the idea, anyways. So let's go to. All right, we're already on the right branch. We're going to talk to Claude. And if you haven't noticed, I think you guys, at least people who are commenting, I don't have a ton of viewers. Yeah, so I use Claude all the time. It is the future. What number is this? 69. But he's been super wonky today. See, he just blocked me up like, hey, nothing ever happened. All right. So you lost my slash commands. That's why I have slash command, so I don't have to do this every time. All right, while he's thinking about that, let's do a little bit more. Right. Should have stage cards. Quorum attendance. Yep. Testing. Should have unit tests. Integration tests. Manual tests. All right. Some of this is going to get wonky because I deleted something. Okay. This is going to be a long one. Yeah. So, Creation, when are you going to start streaming every day? Pretty soon, right? Or do you want to do like the Friday? Uh, we do a joint stream on a Creation, which I think would be fun. You just got to tell me. I think it'd be fun. So we got a lot of the GitHub stuff to do and transferring the ownership and stuff over to the organization. There's a lot of stuff to do. See, this is going to be a big one. We're going to hit our usage limit because I'm too cheap to pay for the big boys. You do. Yeah, we should all. Oh, Natalie's here. Cool. Yeah. So today we're working on the dashboard. So we should be able to. I should be able to see what I'm actually working with. So let me give you an example. So, all right, obviously this is not optimized or working. So we should be able. So right now, this is what happens when you pop open, right? So I can go to prescriber, test error handle. That's got to go away as soon as we're testing. But it's not really like a navigation. I can't really see like what's going on. yeah, can't really see what's going on. But the idea is I should be able to, as soon as it pops open, it's got a dashboard. That's what we're working on today is the dashboard. Yeah, Linux Gamer, we can do a podcast. I like to stream. I mean, I'm horrible at this. Natalie will tell you that I suck at this. But I'm getting better. Not really. Trying though. But streaming's I think is a good way for me to like hold myself accountable. To like, hey, you actually did this work. Um, like I got to be here at this working from home. Like I can work whenever I want, and not work whenever I want, and uh, people mess me up just because life happens. But like, hey, no, I'm streaming from 1 to 5 every single day, and I'm going to be in the code base for all the various projects. Um, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to be like a content creator. I've said that a million times, but I gotta have something. I also gotta market my apps and my open source projects. So streaming is a good way to do that, I think. But we'll see. We'll try for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and we'll see what happens. Um, what's your question here? Oh, but like the podcast thing, I do think like Fridays, I'm thinking about like because I want to Fridays I want to do just accretion stuff or Linux on ARM or something like that along those lines. So whoever wants to show up or however we want to do that, it's not it's not 100% up to me. I think we could do something. Um, Natalie, no, all right. So the way Flutter works is, and the reason I chose Flutter is because um, I can target. So like right now, I'm targeting Mac, right? But I can target iOS. I can target uh, Linux. I can target Windows, which I'm gonna have to at some point. Um, yeah, no. So I'm on a Mac right now, and that's my primary dev machine for what I'm trying to do. Um, but I think the application, like, I don't know where my market is going to be. Probably for like other people that I want to that would want to use it are probably going to be on Windows. Um, but I don't have any real data for that other than like it's most popular and people I think that are going to want to use it are not going to be tech people. They're just going to be regular Joe Schmo, which is nothing wrong with it. But they have a Windows machine. So if I want to help the most people, it's probably going to be Windows as we're going to see it. If not that, probably Apple or iOS and Android. Um, which because that's why I chose Flutter. Though I can target anything desktop. It doesn't have a cloud implementation yet, but I don't really see needing a web page for it. I'll just make the desktop apps. Um, but there is going to be a Linux version, Android and a Linux version at some point. Because I can build the actual application, start it on Mac because that's what's going to work for me. That's what I need it for, and then um, I'm not sure what I'll do after that. What'll be next? I have some people that want to try it, want to use it, so we'll see what platform, like for beta testers, what they actually want to test it on. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm still learning this. I'll learn how to live stream and learn how to build Flutter apps, and then strict schedule. Um, I have to have a strict schedule. Like I think it's just instead of just like show up whenever you want. Um, I end up like not doing it if I just whatever it's not important. I just won't do it. I'll go find something else that's more important. But if I stream like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Um, I have to be here at this time. I have to end at this time. I think I'll get more work done. Mm. Yeah, and also like people working at night. I know a lot of developers that work better after work. Like their daytime is just like doing whatever stuff and then like code at night. But I can't do that. Not here. I'm working from home, so I got there's, like I said earlier, there's 9 of us here. So like my daytime 9 to 5, everybody's gone doing something. This is the time I'm going to be alone, and then where I can actually get work done. And then after that is after everybody goes to sleep. It's late at night, and that might be a good time, but I'm in my bedroom, so my wife is sleeping. I don't want to be talking bullshit. I'll wake her up, and then happy wife, happy life. So deploying it on the App Store, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna end up. I don't know how I'm gonna end up doing that. I think the App Store is probably gonna be my first route, um, because I'm only one guy, and this isn't the only app that I manage. It's not the only project that I'm working on. Apple's really good for that too. It'll probably come up on iOS first because they have test flight where I can ship it out to a bunch of beta users. There's people who sign up for the betas, and I can get instant feedback. Where it'll be hard to do that on anything else. But all right, so let's go back to work. So yeah, route positive base, medication service, business logic, dashboard page. The UI is going to be a pain in the ass. That's fine. And so we have our. So we already did a couple weeks back. We already did a lot of our back fixed already. We don't have anything. We don't have a lot of business logic. Items. That's right. Yeah, phase 3. Yeah, this is a lot. Placeholders, right? Because we got to do the second one. Vibe the UI code. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. Don't worry about it. There's gonna be a lot of vibing. But that's why I get. That's why I do so much documentation. Is because I don't vibing like your way into uh like get scratch done, like get my project started and get it off the ground and hacking on it. Um, Claude is amazing, but at some point you gotta. What's your performance? Does it meet your? You gotta have some kind of a specification for what it does, how it does it. Is it secure? Is it performant? Is it consistent? Especially when you're working with stuff with the UI, because we got a bunch of screens that we got to manage. So without having like a clear milestone pipeline and user stories, and you can't build anything. You can't vibe your way to a commercial project. That's just not possible. Well, I can't. Let me say it that way. Somebody else probably can, but I can't vibe my way to just a lot of stuff. All right. I mean, will run out of context. Please output this as a markdown file. Yeah. Come on. People aren't really looking at me type. Separate the explicit. It's gonna take him a minute. The with the vibe code, while I'm waiting on this, while we're waiting on this, the thing about vibe coding is that like I was actually just talking to my daughter about this morning. Um, you have like way back when everything was in binary, right? And then after binary, like there's assembly or something, right? And then that's binary is super hard. Nobody can do it. Only like the top 1% of smart computer scientists can do it. And then assembly is easier than binary, but I'm probably skipping something here, but assembly is easier. It's in a layer of abstraction right on top of that. And then after assembly, then they do C, and then I think even before there was C++, there's Fortran and Haskell and COBOL and uh, Creation Linux. Linux Grandpa likes to do QBasic. Like there's all these languages that come out, but it's just an abstraction layer on top of um, assembly or C code or C++. They keep trying to make it easier and easier to write. Human readable code, make it easier for the humans to write. And it just get the abstraction layer gets higher and higher and higher. You get JavaScript, and then you get JavaScript frameworks, and then you have front end frameworks, and then you have back end frameworks. So the front end frameworks are for web development are a language all their own. Yeah, it's JavaScript or TypeScript, but you got to wire in a bunch of plugs to use the framework because there's all those libraries in there. So you got to know not just how to write pure JavaScript, but TypeScript, and then you got to understand how to use type, like with React. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Linux Grandpa. I'm sure you can. Yeah, I'm sure you can do all of them. But so you have all those abstraction layers. So when you now we have AI, and you can make whatever you want to make in trial and error. Um, to vibe code your way to something. So somebody who doesn't know how to code can just jump in there and make a slop app. And it's slop because it's not safe, it's not performance. There's all kinds of tricks to do as a developer that you learn over time. But it's great if you just want to hack something together and if people want to get interested in coding and they're like, oh, okay, this is pretty neat. I can do some pretty cool stuff with it. And then if you just sit and read the output from Claude and never look at the actual code base, then yeah, you're probably not helping yourself and you're probably not making a good product. But if you do like I do, where yeah, Claude's running, I know from a developer and project manager standpoint what I need to build. I have a good idea how I would do it in what they call pseudocode, right? Like I have a pretty good idea. It could be the wrong idea, but I have a pretty good idea. So when I started EmberCare, I just started hacking together in C sharp originally, just to see what I could do. C sharp's where I came from. Just to see what I could do and to see how it would work. So I got a bunch of ideas and I brainstorm some stuff and I got something going on with it. And then no, I got to get serious. This is a real application. It's really got legs. I could do something with this. So then now you do milestones and roadmaps, and you got some kind of idea what's going on, and you got a path to get there. It's a little bit more serious of an application. But I still mess around with different languages and different target platforms, and a couple of months doing that without like having a deadline, without having you got to have this done by Friday, um, to do it that way. So that's good. But now I got Flutter, and I got okay. That's probably my best. I don't know a lot about it, but that's gonna be the best from a business standpoint. How I'm gonna reach my audience or my market share, my clients, my potential customers. Okay, but I don't know a lot about Flutter and about Dart. But now I have Claude. So Claude can help me do a lot of the boilerplate. Like he can help me do a lot of the stuff that just needs to get written to get us off the ground to start doing the actual work. That's what we're doing right now is we're getting the easy parts out of the way while I'm learning the language. So I don't have to sit and take 10, 15 courses. I can make the application. But the difference is that I'm paying attention to what's going on. I got a little paper notebook next to me. I'm going to write after the stream. I write down all the stuff I learned or didn't learn or the questions I have. And when we're going through the code, I can ask Claude, explain this to me. And when we get troubleshooting or we get bugs or we get something like that. But if you're, yeah, trust the AI to do your security, bro. Okay. You can't, yeah, that's why I don't consider it vibing. It's because I'm not just 100% it's Claude. He's in charge. I'm just following him along. That's not safe, dude. You'll never convince me that that's okay. See, like right now, he wrote a plan, right? We're gonna read through his plan. I try and do it quick because we're on stream, but um, vibe code your security. Okay, that's a good one. But right, so he made an implementation plan. Perfect. And he also did some because he's got memorized what I want for my UI, and he knows how the logic is supposed to flow. Because I told him he's not making an assumption; it's in his file. But I don't know. I don't mind if people call me a. I don't mind if people call me a vibe coder. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I prefer AI enhanced developer, but so that's why I don't call myself an engineer. Because I'm not an engineer. Um, I don't have a computer science degree. I'm not TS 6 7 level Amazon site reliability engineer. I'm not that cool. I'm just a guy trying to make money with code. And because I like code. I like to code. I like to make products. This is gonna be this is gonna be a long see this is why all this implementation, that's what he had in the back of his head when I told him to make a plan. Like it's a lot of steps. Step 7, unit test. Yeah, Russ, we're gonna run out of context in a single conversation, and then because I don't pay for the super juice with Claude, we're gonna run out of um, my 5 hour usage window. But that's gonna be okay. That's gonna be all right. We want to accept that. Yeah, I'm an old man too, man. I'm old as dirt. All right, let's make sure we can see it. All right, we're gonna commit those changes. All right, so that's up there. All right, I am gonna take a break, and we'll say 5 minutes. Okay. What a horrible start. 30, almost 2. All right. Claude got his act together. He shot out a plan. All right, so we don't need him anymore. Well, I mean, we're still going to need him, but we're still going to need him. But let me. No, too bad, man. I started. He can make coffee on his own time. Come on, man. You make coffee with your C code? I tried to honestly, like, seriously think about when I said earlier I was going to do C sharp because that's what I'm familiar with. I got a wild hair in my butt and was like, you know what? I could probably do this in C++, plus plus, or hell, I could do this in Zig, or what was the other one I thought? Rust, obviously, Rust, Tori. Um, but I was like, no, I could probably do this in Qt and C++. plus plus. And I started messing around with it. Like, it's possible, um, and it was kind of fun to toy with, but it was like, no, this is going to take a long time. There's no libraries. There's no, not for that kind of stuff, not for what I'm trying to do. And then I'd only be able to, like, maybe do the desktop app, and it would take me a long time to port it to any other desktops. And then trying to get it on mobile was going to be insane. So no, that's why I went with something else. We can drop the terminal for now. It's going to do libcore, implementation details, stores query medications, single medication use, all methods used, try catch blocks. That's okay for now. All right, so yeah, we need to um we're gonna have to order it by brand name. Um because the dates ordering it by dates is gonna be that because that would be like his longest medication versus his newest medication, and sometimes the newest medication is most important. But I don't want to have to set special flags for that. Yeah, and we want to make sure. Yeah, we don't want to get because we got to remember that sometimes potentially these users are going to be quite not prevent deleting medication that is referenced elsewhere. So that's just a general knowing my market and knowing who my potential customers are. So let's say I'm 46. So other people are going to be, which 46-year-olds should be pretty tech savvy, but there's a lot that are not. So because we've got so many screens, in order for the system to work, we have to have that many screens. We got to make sure to guide the user where it's intuitive, and then we'll not. Uh, you should have known how to do that, bro. That's a skill issue. You got to not do that with general public applications because not everybody has had the benefit of like me spending crazy hours on a machine. All right, so now no more questions. I'll modify. Yes. Whatever brand name. Good singleton or rapid track update. Right. Yes. You could keep talking, Natalie. I like it when you talk shit. See, it would be fun. Like I said, it would be fun, but uh, oh, and accretion, yeah, no, back in the 80s and 90s. You were doing that last week, man. No sleep, just code. I know you were. Don't try to pretend like you're super old. Um, I have this weird relationship with to at Natalie's question. I have this weird relationship with Google, Android, Apple, Microsoft. Like the modern development workflow wouldn't exist without Microsoft. It just wouldn't. Microsoft bought GitHub. They stole all of the data, started Copilot. They stole Atom Editor and made VS Code. They shoved Windows down everybody's throat for 30 years. Um, but they just, nothing would exist without them. Not like it is now. And we don't have a lot of options. The mobile phone market, Apple created the mobile phone idea being a smartphone. Before that was Blackberries and Nokias. If you're Samsung, if you guys are old enough to remember that. And then, but as soon as that happened, Google and Android and all that came around and just ate Apple's lunch and went global with everything. So without Google, you wouldn't have the modern mobile market that we have right now. Without Google, you wouldn't have the internet the way that you have now. If we relied on Microsoft and Microsoft Explorer for the internet wouldn't be what it is now. If it weren't for Firefox, the internet wouldn't be what it is now. If it weren't, so you have Internet Explorer. Way back in the day, you had Netscape, but you then had Internet Explorer, and that's what everybody asked. That's what everybody worked from. And then Firefox comes along with Mozilla, and they really push the money for what the browser could be to push back against Internet Explorer. And then because of Firefox success with Mozilla, then you know Google shoots up with Chrome because Google's the internet, right? They want to be advertising. They want to, so all those big giant corporations, yeah, they suck and they're evil corporations, but we wouldn't have what we have now without them. So the new restrictions, you've seen it, Google's new restrictions are so annoying. I don't know what you mean. If make an Android version, you're gonna have to get it approved by Google. Yeah, I know that. I know that. I don't necessarily mind that. If that's what you're asking, like get the app approved by Google or Apple, I don't mind that. I think it's silly to be worried about it. Again, like I said, users aren't that tech savvy, so having somebody in, I mean, are you going to go verify all the apps in the Android store and make sure that they're safe for Grandma Hillbilly to use? Somebody's got to. I'm not going to do it. So I'd rather Apple or Google does it. Yeah. Yeah, I want to run a build check. Okay, Cloud, you can slide way over. And we're going to look at what's changed. Where the edited is registered. App data. That's fine. Wait a minute, what did he change here? Oh, that's fine. Okay. I don't trust you, Claude. All right, bro. You take those. No, it's a good changes. Number two. I don't know if that's going to make a difference for him, but we'll try. Oh, they may break F-Droid and independent developer apps. Yeah, they're trying to do that because of the UK stuff, where the UK is really, well, the UK and the European Union is really trying to break Apple and Google to allow third party app stores on the device. And Apple, Google don't want to do that. So they need to make restrictions so that F Droid can't be loaded. For whatever technical barriers they can put up, um, so that they can push back on the EU and not allow third-party app stores. And I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think about that either way. F-Droid doesn't do a good job about curating their library to make sure that any of it's good. There's a lot of trash on there. Which I mean, uh, see, this is okay. So it's doing it again. So, all right. So I'm looking at right now. This is the technical difficulty. So I am in VS Code. The only VS Code instance I've got running. I'm looking at my MacBook screen because that's going to give you guys the best resolution. I'm looking at VS Code. I have the MacBook screen capture from an OBS, but it's pulling up. OBS is pulling up a totally different view of VS Code. Does that make sense? Like, so right now I'm in my code base, but I can see you guys see Feature Story 2.1, issue number 69. This sucks. Seriously, what is going on with VS Code? Is it VS Code or is it OBS? What a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah, fit to screen my ass. See, that's not even the right. So it's supposed to be my MacBook screen, but it's not. Right, so what I'm saying is that I don't know what you're saying, Christian. Yeah, so what's happening is I'm looking at. So if I close VS Code completely, so VS Code is so you should see just my desktop. Right, I can see what she's. I mean, I'm looking at the live stream. Yeah, you guys can see VS Code super big, but it's on a story issue. It's not on. So in OBS, yeah, what a pain in the ass. So now, right? So now if I go back, and open up code. That's I don't know what was going on with that, but it's still that's going to be way too. Well, no, I guess not. Whatever OBS. Whatever OBS. All right, where were we? Pro streamer. Pro streamer. All right. Be professional. Be professional, John. All right. You plan. You plan. Not directly available in this file. Need to check out the database to set up and import the generated database file. What was he trying to do? Oh, yeah. All right, now we're going to do unit tests. See, I don't understand. I get that. I get that. But that's fine. A little bit rough. Yeah, process. Right, we know that's going to happen for the failures. That's fine because we're just not there yet. That's fine. Stage engineer update together. That's fine. All right, so let's get out of here, Claude. VS Code, you're not helping me show any of my diffs. All right, we're gonna YOLO this. I'm gonna drop out of. So OBS or so if we were gonna do this in Dart, we're not gonna do in Dart Studio because I don't know how any of that shit works. We can do what's the other one that I could do this in? Do it in C-Line, I think. On the fly, people. On the fly. EmberCare Flutter. Yeah, that's fine. Restart soon. All right. All right, so let's go to. All right, now we're gonna go to see what we can see in for router. Yeah. Yes. Done. SDK. Okay, we can worry about that probably later. Backup plan. No, because now I gotta do. Okay. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna go. Should already have this. And B. Right. Let's get this installed. Darn, I already have this. I'm not sure why it's telling me not to. Been dark. All right, so this is going to be. No, this is going to be in October. And I need to do this. I need to do this off camera. Settings. Enable their support. Does not exist. It does. I want to let me. No, it's nuts. We're gonna try and run this anyways. Because we could always run it in. You know what? Let's do that. Let us do that. Just because you guys don't want to sit here and watch me. do this the whole time. I'm sure this is not fun. Yeah. All right. We're down to our projects. EmberCare Flutter. All right, now we're going to go to petition plan. So much for clearing it. I got lost here. Confirm. That's right, the business logic, but that's what I couldn't see when I was trying to work through VS Code to see the gets, but that I just let it go. I shouldn't have yellowed it. Yeah. No, no, bro. No, Claude. Cause see, this is where you gotta watch. Okay, so it's the last time I was here, and because I wasn't paying attention, um, Claude did something I didn't understand, and I didn't check it. So yes, you plan. Blah 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 blah. Dead air, dead air, dead air. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. I'm doing this and some general I'm the dad life stuff on the side. Look, while he's thinking right there, I gotta go make a phone call. So let me do real life stuff. I will be back. real life. Real life. Sucks. All right. What was I doing? What was Claude doing? Claude was following the block pattern, create the state file. Counts per stage. Add the right imports. Implement equitable property. Empty props list. State changes. But we're going to manually approve the edits this time. So I'm not sure what this is. Pretty sure, but not real sure. Yeah, pretty sure, but not 100% sure. So we need to verify that. Made when the dashboard is first created, before load dashboard event. Say when dashboard data is being loaded. Initial load. Yes. Yes. Right. Get the props, stage count, search items, is refreshing. Create a copy of this optional field. Nope. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Now I need to see. Oops. Now I need to see. Put that. Services. Let's trace that file. But that's for. That's right. We just did that. All right. Clear this context. Still alive? I think we're still alive. I think so. I think so. Well, you're thinking, Claude. All right, Claude. They should name him something different than Claude. Claude makes me think of a big Dutch farmer, which really isn't the kind of guy you want to hire to do your code. I don't know about calling both service methods in parallel. That's probably right. I don't know. I don't know. Happy Monday to me. First, it's only going to be about 90 lines. All right, I got time. I got time for one more. Yeah, I got time for one more, and then I got to cut off and go do real life. What kind of context you got, Claude? Didn't I do? I must have mistyped. More real life. All right. Yeah, Mondays, man. Real life. What's that? Uh, it's that thing you do in between when you sleep. Do we just do 5 and 5, man? We just did because I'm looking at 3 screens. Yeah, no. So my kid got payday on Mondays. Money always goes fast. Yeah, no. My kid, the oldest, she starts a new job tomorrow, and she busted up her tire. So she's got nobody around other than me to go do grown man stuff. Younger generation, man. I mean, I'm her dad. She should call me, but she's a never own guy right now. Yeah, you're always looking at 3 screens, but are you working on 3 screens? Are you trying to work and trying to stream and trying to answer text messages? Yeah, I got so I got my is my stream doing okay? Screen. I got my overview of what I'm supposed to be doing on this stream. like my little notes or whatever. I've got code up on the screen that you guys can see, and then I got two text message chains going. Yeah. See, that's what yeah, going back to the code, but its implementation isn't sequential, right? And it should be in, block dart 180. No, if that messes up, what we want it to be parallel. Yeah. See, all that stuff going on at the same time. Plus, my day didn't start out right this morning, and my stream didn't start out right because I don't know what's going on with VS Code. I don't know if it's VS Code or if it was OBS. It's probably OBS, but like I'm not paying for streaming software. I already paid for AI and all that other crap. And watch, I'm gonna show up down there to take care of my daughter, and she's be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I need you to pay for a tire too," which she's my little girl, so yeah, of course. But of course, I'll pay for it. All right, commit, push to remote, Claude. All right, so let's see what we got done here, though, from our plan while he's doing that. We got. I see more text messages. All right, so we got the pages. Yep, we got the stage cards. We got the count. We got. We did the build urgent items. We didn't. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we didn't get to the next. Yeah, we didn't get this. Today was a shitty stream. Yeah, old enough to pay for stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, they're old enough to pay for anything and then figure it out, and then you end up paying for stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which part of my thinking is I had lots of help when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like I got a bum deal coming out of my house, which wasn't a great house to begin with, and then I did way more than I should have had to at that age, and pulled myself up by my bootstraps. But sometimes the straps broke. You know what I mean? stream was fine. Way better than the last time I streamed. Ugh. Ugh. Today was better than the last time. Ugh. Oh, that makes me sad. All right. So thank you, Claude, for your service. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I got to go do real life stuff. I'm trying to stream from 1 p.m. CST to 5 p.m. Like, I need to get this is my coding time for my app, like my not job stuff. So, like, not day job stuff. Oh, that's what you mean by the last time. I didn't spend 4 hours talking to myself. I spent a little better than an hour, which you were texting me like everything was cool. So you texted in chat, then you texted me on my phone like everything was cool, and then not like real descriptive, like, "Hey, dude, your stream's not live." Like, no, nobody. Yeah, nobody really told me what the hell was going on. So yeah, I talked to myself for. I got code done, but yeah, I talked to myself for like an hour, hour and a half. But it's all right. Um, yeah. It went okay. The code itself went okay. Claude didn't run me too bad. Um, yeah, he didn't mess me up too bad. But yeah, having to focus on too many things at the same time and stuff that I'm worried about, like home life, not just like there's 7 pages of code open, but no, like home life stuff. But yeah, so I'm trying to stream 1 to 5 because that's a long time. But that's like my I don't have to do day job stuff during that time frame. Probably should consider like start at 1 and then go till we can. Go till I got to stop. 5 is my hard cutoff. Um, but it's my time to do like my app, my personal app. I got some cool Python scripts I'm working on. At least I think they're cool. I'm working on a MCP server. We're gonna try and do that sometime this week. I also got that accretion project that I'm super excited about. And I know you guys know what this is watching live, but hoping that somebody watches this later to make fun of me because I fucked up OBS. But I'm really excited about the accretion project because um, it's gonna be cool. It's cool, and considering how the Linux community is behaving with corporate stuff, and then stuff that's not supposed to be corporate is acting very corporate. Um, there's only a few other distributions that are truly community. Um, so creation could be something cool. I got a lot of hopes for it, and with accretion, there's the opportunity to work on accretion for ARM. I'm pretty excited about that. We got more work to do on accretion in x86 to get it ready for me to do ARM stuff. As far as like being part of the ecosystem itself, part of the org, instead of just me working hacking on an ARM deal, and then which is cool. But then uh, I got another because of my AI fixation, because I have AI is the way that's happening. It's the future, man. Like it's not going away. It's only going to be more and more embedded in everything, and it is coming to Linux. So whether we like it or not, it's coming, and the users are going to get used to it everywhere else. Um, the hardcore users, are not, but they're not going to use accretion. They rolled their own kernel. You know what I mean? Like they already have their own. They rolled their own distribution, their own kernel. Um, they're running it off a Raspberry Pi in a van down by the river, or a tent down by the river with their own satellite that they're hacking from the Chinese. So users are going to want AI in their system. They're just going to get used to it. So, but I think that's a great opportunity to uh, build AI into a Linux system onto a small board, minimal resources, um, local models, inference models that can run on the metal or as close to the metal as possible. which that's not the direction. To make it clear, that's not the direction that Accretion OS is going. The team doesn't want to do that, at least not in what's in the current implementation. So my plan for the AI stuff that I'm working on now is to get that running on some kind of a Linux distribution, probably on an ARM board, uh, which could jive with Accretion, but I know they don't want the model on board. And I can understand why the direction that they want that, which I guess me now I'm part of the team, but the way that the team is focused, the direction to go for Accretion isn't. Uh, it doesn't make a lot of sense to put an onboard AI on it. There's a bunch of reasons for that, but it doesn't. Either way, it doesn't make sense to put onboard AI in Accretion. But between ARM and we know that AI is going to happen, and then I'm going to try and make that a reality with users accepting it to where it could be useful for the user instead of the corporation. I think that's got a lot of potential for cool stuff. But anyways, I will jump off the stream. I got to drive and go do stuff, do dad stuff. So as much as this was kind of crazy and didn't go the way that I planned, I hope everybody had a good time. It was interesting, at least. And maybe after this is done, people will come back and make fun of me. Yeah, I said no AI in Accretion AS. There's no reason to put it on Accretion. It doesn't. I forget that chat's out of sync with me talking. Um, yeah, Accretion doesn't want AI on board, and I don't think it's a good idea. I would be resistant to whatever I kind of build with the MCP servers and that kind of stuff. I'd be resistant to put it on Accretion, even if the team wanted me to. I'd be resistant because I don't think that that's the direction it should go. And yeah, Linux Gang, I'm hoping. I'm glad. I'm glad you got a laugh out of it. Share it with your friends and tell. Look at this mode. He doesn't know how to stream. Look, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's barely a developer. And he's trying to be a live streamer. What a joke. But all right, I will talk to you guys later. Hope the rest of your day goes better than my day has been going. See you.